gifts and stickers. We had no idea why this was until we were older. At the time, she was special, and we were a little jealous. And she was special. She was a fighter that we came to appreciate and be in awe of. Daily life included chest PT, a pounding on the chest to loosen her thick, sticky mucus. The constant presence of this mucus and persistent cough that comes with it is the most recognizable consequence of cystic fibrosis. I can still recognize the CF cough to this day. We started with a physical pounding with hands, then moved on to a percussor, a vibrating wand with a big cup on the end, and then onto a vest that shook the chest with compressed air. All these treatments happened 2 to 3 times a day for 30 minutes. It was about that time my brother and I started to realize what a road she was traveling and what a warrior she was. She would go to school with her piles of pills and happily traipse on down to the nurse every day for what she needed to take in order to digest her high-calorie lunches. CF kids can't digest their foods well due to their pancreases being full of thick, sticky mucus, like their lungs, so every meal included enzymes. She also got high-calorie, high-salt foods to help keep up her energy levels and salt content. These seemed like small problems when she was little, but as she aged, it became more problematic. We watched her go about her daily routine of pills, chest PT, special foods, and still managed to be a top student, participate in soccer, tennis and track, play flute, sing at school and at our church, and continue to support the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. She got sicker and started to get admitted to the hospital, which we called Club Med, because it had cable and a Wii and special foods, awesome friendly staff, and different groups would come and visit and give presents like the Savers. In the beginning, these trips seemed fun. A few days in the hospital and back to normal life. It was like a vacation. And then she got sicker and began to do IVs at home. I shared a room with her and hated that machine. It was so noisy. But we all took it in stride. She got sicker and got a feeding tube to keep her weight up. From time to time, it would come apart at night, and it was noisy and smelled like vanilla nutrition supplement, ew. But we kept on moving forward. These seemed like small sacrifices to keep her home instead of Club Med. While we were between hospital stays, we volunteered as much as possible for the CF Foundation. We stuffed envelopes for mailers, prepared for and volunteered for CF events and galas, and participated in family days. Back in those days, cystic fibrosis families mingled without thinking about transferring bacteria between families. I was lucky enough to meet my co-speaker Nikki at these events. We have known each other since we were 3 or 4. The CF community became family to us. We participated in the annual CF's Great Strides Walkathon every May. This also allowed me to grow closer with other CF families, and Nikki and I began a friendship that would make us more like sisters. We would fundraise, advocate, attend the Mass Eye event, galas, award functions, chicken wing festival, handing out blue cheese, and anything we could to raise awareness and funds for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Beener volunteered for clinical trials and was proud to help find a cure. She defied the odds and made it past her teenage years, continuing to thrive in life. She worked at the Children's League in Springville with special needs children, all of whom she adored. As the years went on, she was able to attend college at SUNY Fredonia for teaching. This was her dream. She had to endure isolation in a room away from other students in order to have a single room for her treatments, and harassment on having a handicapped parking space even though she didn't look sick. But it never dulled her spirit. She continued with the feeding tube, vest, pills, high-calorie diet, and then CF-related diabetes, on top of her regular schoolwork, and she just kept trooping along. However, she began to be hospitalized as much as she was at home. We would spend weeks trying to get her lung function and weight back up. She had to unenroll from Fredonia, which was devastating. It was on one of these admissions that she continued to get sicker out of the blue. We managed to bring back her fiance Eric from overseas, where he was deployed with just hours to spare. Before we could even get her listed for a transplant, she weakened and was called home. She prepared us with jokes, with love, and with hope right up until the end. These are some of my saddest and happiest memories. I have of my sister, my angel. The CF families and the CF Foundation rallied around us, and my family refused to give up the fight. We don't want what happened to us to happen to other CF families. We want CF to stand for Cure Found. This is now my passion. We continue to do the Great Strides Walkathon every May for 29 years and counting. Both Nikki's family and mine continue to chair the Orchard Park Great Strides Walkathon. As a tribute to my sister, my team does the Slurpee Run, a truncated version of the walk. As years went by, Nina was too weak to walk 3.1 miles. We would take turns carrying her on our backs. This inevitably required us to cut corners as she exhausted us and refused a wheelchair. Eventually, it became a special walk for us, and we would go to 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee and carry her back, only using part of the official walk route. It still took us the same amount of time. This special Slurpee run is now an annual part of the Orchard Park Walk, including banners, special shirts, special Beaner buttons, and stickers for participants. This is how we keep Beaner alive for this event. My son, Grayson, who's 2, was named in honor of my sister, who was full of dignity and grace. He, too, is being raised to be an advocate for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. We continue to volunteer at CF events. We continue to be friends with the CF families we have come to know and love over the years. Most of all, we continue to keep hope alive for those families we love so much and the CF warriors who are continuing to fight. On that note, I would like to introduce Nicole Cole. She is a CF warrior continuing her battle. She represents the hope and the future for the cystic fibrosis treatments, awareness, and fundraising. She is an author, a cystic fibrosis fundraising powerhouse, an activist both in the community and online. Please welcome my friend and realistically my little sister, Nicole Cole.
Good evening, everyone. Can we please just start out with another round of applause for Mary and how strong she is with her experience. As she mentioned in her introduction, my name is Nicole Cole. I also go by Nikki, formerly Nikki Matthews. I am 30 years old. I have been living with CF since I was 22 months old. When I was diagnosed, my parents were told they would never see me graduate high school. So they allowed me living a pretty normal lifestyle, going to school, but missing lunches with my peers because I'd be waiting in the nurse's office for her to give me my medications. I was segregated and separated by my peers and friends because they all thought I could be contagious, name called, and the worry in my teacher's eyes when I would have a coughing fit. With the strength my family showed me and supported me with, I was able to overcome all of that. My parents, Ernie and Connie Matthews, and my little sister Katie were my bodyguards, my voice, and my cheerleaders, and I am beyond grateful for them. See, having CF isn't just a one-person thing. It affects my whole family. It affects my friends, my job, and simply my whole entire life. As I grew older, I saw this even more. I needed to find the perfect job was not easy at all. I was working in the kennel. I have a BOCES degree in animal caretaking, but my health started to deteriorate. And I needed to find somewhere where it would allow me to be me and focus on my health. So I started my adventure with Westher, surprise Westher. And now I've been there for almost 10.5 years. My managers and my president and CEOs and everybody allow me to take the time I need to take care of me, to leave for my doctor's appointments, to come and go as I need. They laugh at me when I am taking my drugs at work or shooting myself with insulin, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. They never hold anything against me. There's no judgment. Plus, they're huge advocates for CF. If there's any Western employees in here, can you just raise your hand? Now, finding the right relationship, that's a different ballgame. That was not easy. I was judged. I was harassed for being sick. I was told some pretty awful things, but I decided not to have that set my way. I enjoyed the online dating website, and a free one, because that's too expensive to do that stuff. After joining, I talked to this guy for like 2 months, and then I started dating him for like 3 months, and we moved in after 3 months, and 5 years in we got married, and now we've been together for 7.5 years, and that's my husband, Michael Kowal, right over there. Michael Nicole's my lifesaver. He sits up with me at night when I cannot breathe and I'm coughing so hard I see spots. He carries my medications when I don't have pockets. Not all outfits have pockets, which is important because I take 6 enzymes with every single thing I eat. That's some pretty big baggage. I roughly take about 60 to 80 pills a day. I have 3 nebulizers. I complete my best, and now I have CF-related diabetes, and I am insulin dependent. I get a fancy new sensor on my one arm, that's this one, and then on the other arm, this one with the iPad attached to it, is my insulin patch. My sensor on my one arm is about $75 a month. That's just the copay, thank God for insurance. The insulin patch is $20 a week, copays. But at the end of the month, I'm spending almost $500 in copays with doctor's appointments and medications. I'm also gluten-free and not by choice. I like food way too much to have that cut out of my diet. But being a CFer, I have to maintain almost a 4,000 calorie diet a day. It's a lot of food, and it's very expensive, especially being gluten-free. My best that I do as a treatment is a $16,000 treatment. Insurance covers half of that. My parents cover the other half. So financially, it is a big burden. But with the CF Foundation, I am able to have so much support and love. I get high-calorie drinks and snacks to help with my high-calorie intake. And 90 cents of every single dollar raised goes right to the foundation. And it helps support the need we have to fight this disease. CF is expensive, but here's the thing that it really affects. When Beaner passed away, I began my fight with a whole different side of CF. I have survivor's guilt. I have heard counseling a lot. I've been placed on antidepressants and anxiety medications. I've ripped my skin off my fingers because of my anxiety. Picture this, you grow up knowing the same person every single day of your life. You have the same exact disease. This isn't just a day or 2 or a month or 2 of knowing someone. These are decades together. You're watching all these people that have the same illness you do, and they're dying before you. They're dying around you. And here you are, and you're just trucking along. But in the old days, we were able to see each other face to face. We were able to hug and talk and play and color. And today, with the new guidelines, because they're really strict, which I know is more for our health, I can't ever face to face another CFer. I am the only CFer in this room tonight. I can't go out and have drinks at a bar with them. I can't go and party with them or see each other. We have to maintain a distance. If we're outside at the CF Great Strides Walk, we're 6 feet apart. I mean, I might be a little bit of a rule bender, a little bit of a rebel there, but that is to help us because we have certain viruses in our lungs that we can transmit to each other. Don't worry, you guys can't get anything I have, I promise. Page change, please hold. It makes it living with this disease even harder and even more segregation and being alone. There's actually a new movie coming out called 5 Feet Apart. Even though with CFers we have to actually maintain 6 feet apart, this will at least bring awareness and to the whole world with CF through the eyes of Hollywood. So that's a huge step, at least in my eyes. But it doesn't end there. My husband and I are unable to have our own children due to CF, causing a buildup of mucus in my reproductive tract, causing infertility. I'll never get the chance to feel pregnancy. I've had tests done, we've had tests done, but we're still childless. Last year I had surgery, still childless, but we have a pretty awesome niece. Her name's Gabby. She'll be 5 at the end of this month, and my gosh, she's got my heart is wrapped so tight around those little fingers of hers. I am referred to as Aunt Nini. Sorry. She's gone with me to CF clinics. We do treatments together. She shows her Aunt Nini is sick to other people, and she's been a trooper through all my coughing fits while we're trying to read bedtime stories. She's even helped me make videos on my YouTube channel, telling people to raise money, because Aunt Amy, she can't breathe right. I've had 2 sinus surgeries for constant infections in my sinuses, 1 surgery taking away my sense of smell for the last 10 years. I had a bowel obstruction at the age of 16 where I lost a decent amount of weight in a very short period of time. Now, hearing all of this, you might think, how does this chick do it every single day? How she seems so normal. But I'm secretly blessed and a pretty big fighter. Having CF, I gained a whole other family and sisters too. I have more support than I could ever ask for. I know how to cherish every single breath and moment, because seeing how fast I can lose it has been beyond personal. I was standing at the door in Wiener's hospital room, and I watched her. Talking about a slap in the face right there when you're having the same disease. I bawled my eyes out when Beans died, and when I lost my sister. I wrote a poem for her. It was read at her funeral. It's even published in my book. And to this day, I miss her and thank her. But I'm gonna fight for her. I'm way too stubborn. I work full-time with Western as administrative assistant. I sell Rodan Fields as a side job to help with co-pays. I volunteered with the Hillcrest Volunteer Fire Company as an EMT for the last 12 years. I'm an on-ice teacher for Gliding Stars Adaptive Ice Skating Program, where this year my dad, my sister, my niece, and I will be doing our own solo act. I teach the beginners group. I get the youngest kids out there with special needs. We've been involved with that for almost 20 years. My husband and I fostered pit bulls. We've had 25 in 5 years, and we've only failed at 1. Her name is Dory, and she resides on our couch. I'm a Girl Scout leader for Troop 30181 in Orchard Park, which has 12 kindergartners and first graders. That's a lot of little girls. I have a published book called The Abnormal Nicole, where you can buy it at Anthony Brown's in Orchard Park. I also have 8 rats, 3 guinea pigs, a dog, a cat, and a tortoise. Calling our house the Kowal Kingdom. Plus, my dad, my family, and the whole Padasak family all run the Orchard Park walk site. Every single year for the last 20-something years, raising copious amounts of money, all to try and find the cure that we just live with every single day. We don't stop, we won't stop until there's a cure, and every single person out there with CF is no longer suffering. Technology and science has become amazing with the new drugs that have come out, but with 1,300 different genes for CF, not all of us are able to use these drugs. I, myself, am one of those people. I have a very popular gene and a very rare gene. That rare gene, there's nothing in the pipeline for yet. But I don't lose hope there. Thing is that you get really excited when you hear all these new drugs come out, and you think, yes, finally, and then you realize, oh, darn it, not yet, not my turn yet. But I have hope, and fundraising is key to these new studies. There's about 172 people in Western New York that live with CF. 1 in 31 people in this room are a carrier with the CF gene. There are 30,000 people in the United States of America that have CF. There's 70,000 in the world that have CF. With those numbers, sadly enough, they're on the rise. But on a great note, so is our life expectancy. Our life expectancy used to be really, really low. And now I'm looking at almost 40. Sorry, honey. I thank you all very much for being here tonight, for listening to my story, and most of all, for supporting our disease, for supporting my disease, I should say, that I live and realistically try breathing with every single day. You being here tonight is making a true difference in those living with CF, and it's beyond appreciated. As the quote in my book says, life is like a rose, there are thorns, but there is still beautiful. Life is beautiful, and with the funds raised tonight, we will have the chance to live a longer and happier life. And I'm planning on being here for quite some time. So let's get those funds raised. Thanks, guys.